What's up, H-Town? It's your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TV, and I appreciate y'all joining me on Everything H-Town Sports Debate Show. And on today's rundown, I'm introducing two new segments to my show. One is Houston Texans Trivia, and the next one is I Want All the Smoke. And I hope you want all the smoke as well, Houston Texans fans. And also, we're going to chop it up about the Houston Texans defense may be much improved under head coach DeMeco Ryans, but this defensive line, according to Pro Football Focus, still needs some type of reinforcement and help. So H-Town, get your listening ears ready, strap up your boots, and let's go. H-Town, Pro Football Focus has grades and certain indicators to kind of show you the production and where should a defensive lineman or defensive tackle be placed as far as their production on the field. And I have a few stats and indicators and number from Pro Football Focus and SB Nation, and this is going to make you wake up. We may be much improved by head coach DeMeco Ryans, but this team still needs defensive line reinforcement. And these are some of the indicators, and I'm going to explain it to you, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, according to Pro Football Focus, a score above 80 indicates a Pro Bowl performer or a college All-American, either one. So if it's a college player, it's going to indicate how good he was in college. If it's a professional player, it's going to indicate how good he was in the pros. Okay, the second score that indicates, you was a solid starter or a solid NFL college player. So for the Pro Bowl indicator, it'll be anywhere between 80 and above for a Pro Bowl performer and a college All-American. Okay, if you was like a solid starter or NFL or solid college player, it would be rated. You would be rated in between a 70 and an 80. Okay, if you was a fringe starter or a rotational player, you would be rated anywhere from a 60 to a 70. And if you were like a depth player or like a special teamer or pretty much out the door, you will be rated anywhere from 60 to below. And those are the indicators. And here are some of the players that are on the Houston Texans defensive line and their Pro Football Focus scores. Okay, I'm going to start with the defensive line. Well, the defensive ends. We're going to separate the defensive ends from the defensive tackles. So I'm about to start with the Pro Football Focus number indicator for defensive ends. And I'm starting with Jerry Hughes. He was rated a 71.4 by Pro Football Focus with 689 snaps. So that is a good starter, a good solid starter on our defensive line as far as defensive end. Jonathan Gennard, I know he had ups and downs and injuries, but his Pro Football Focus grade was a 63.4. So that would have him anywhere from a fringe to a rotational. Even though I believe he's better than that, that was his score, probably because of injury. He had an up and down season, but I believe he was better. He's better than that because he had an 8-sack season. He could be better and possibly even dominant in a DeMeco Ryan scheme. Okay, Jacob Martin, he was a 65.1 on 261 snaps. Jacob Martin is pretty much going to be a rotational player anyway. That's what they brought him for, mainly to put him and let him push his ears back and go get it on pass rushing downs as far as like third down, third and long, things of those natures. That's what Jacob Martin was brought here to be, and possibly a special teamer. Okay. Also, Dylan Horton. He was a college player, but they still gave him a grade as far as his college grade. And his rating, his Pro Football Focus rating was a 75.9 on 733 snaps. The guy was pretty good. And in his defense, in his DeMeco Ryans defense, I believe that guy is going to be still productive in the NFL. Okay, Will Anderson Jr., which he's not going to be a linebacker in this system. He's going to be a defensive end. His Pro Football Focus score was an 83.6 on 684 snaps, which he was a college All-American. Everybody know he was a college All-American and one of the most dominant pass rushers and linebackers in college football. Okay, now to the defensive tackles. Here's where it get a little, Okay, Malik Collins was rated, his Pro Football Focus score was a 65.4 on 601 snaps. Now, from what I see from the natural eye, Malik Collins, he can get back there. He can pass rush and on stop the run, man, dude. He really didn't show too much, but he's a good pass rusher. And I believe with better talent next to him, he can be more productive. But that was his Pro Football Focus score as far as defensive tackles. The second defensive tackle we just brought in via free agency, Sheldon Rankins, his Pro Football Focus score was a 73.1 on 558 snaps, which that's pretty darn good. I think he's going to be a nice addition to this defense. Okay, moving on to Roy Lopez, which was, I believe, a 6th-round pick. His Pro Football Focus numbers is a 52.7 on 557 snaps. Now, that's way below a 60, man. I mean, that's way below a rotational fringe player, man. That's almost like he's in danger of being cut if he don't step it up and show something during OTAs and training camp. Okay, Kurt Hinish. His was a 49.5 according to Pro Football Focus on 435 snaps. That's ridiculous. That's why we had one of the NFL's in almost history worst run defenses in the league. Those two guys gave up a lot of run yards. Okay, as far as Hassan Ridgeway, he wasn't dominant either, but he knows DeMeco Ryans' defense. He's a big body who can plug a hole. But according to Pro Football Focus, his numbers was a 58.8 on 285 snaps. He's more of a rotational player anyway. Nice amount of snaps, but not too much. He don't play a lot anyway. Okay, next was Thomas Booker, our 5th-round pick from last year. I know he's still learning, head was spinning. He still has to learn and see how he fits in his DeMeco Ryans defense anyway. But his number was a 35.5 according to Pro Football Focus on 206 snaps. Woo! I tell you, we still need some reinforcements on that defensive line. I accredit the numbers to Pro Football Focus because those guys watch the film like no other. And I accredited this story to SB Nation. I seen a couple of these stats and it was eye-opening. It was like, whoa. And you see these numbers, and on the defensive line, man, we still need some reinforcements and help, H-Town. I understand DeMeco Ryans' scheme is going to make a lot of players better, and that defensive line is the main thing. Just like in San Francisco, they had a lot of 1st-round picks on that defensive line, and they had guys, they depended heavily on that defensive line to help the secondary and give the secondary time to make sure they have things covered in the backfield. But right now, the players that we have, I believe Sheldon Rankins and Malik Collins are going to be decent. Hopefully Kurt Hinish or Roy Lopez can step up, but they might be, casualties during training camp or after OTAs. I'm not really too sure. They're going to have to show Coach DeMeco Ryan some things. But this defensive line still need reinforcement.
I want all the smoke.
I want all the smoke, H-Town. This is my new segment that I'm introducing to you guys. And the first thing that I want smoke about, because I get it every day on my YouTube channel, is Davis Mills. A lot of people out there are still Davis Mills truthers. I cannot believe it. They want your number 2 overall quarterback, C.J. Stroud, to sit on a bench, and they believe Davis Mills is actually a NFL starting caliber quarterback. I like some of his traits, but the guy was a 3rd-round pick. He had more than enough opportunity to show Davis Mills is not a NFL caliber 1st-string quarterback. I want all the smoke. So if you don't agree with me, bring me the smoke, H-Town. The first touchdown was scored in Houston Texans history was tight end Billy Miller. So that's your trivia and your answer. In H-Town, leave your comments. If you don't believe so, do your Google research. But that is your Houston Texans trivia of the day. It's your boy Hot Topic. It's been real, and peace.